Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands and waterways on which we are recording today. The Wurundjeri, Woiwurrung and Bunurong Bunurong people of the eastern and greater part of the Greater Nation. We pay our deepest respects to their elders, past and present. Extend that respect to all First Nations peoples listening in today. And we honour the sovereignty of us never ceded. We acknowledge that we acknowledge their enduring and connection, as well as their many numerous contributions, their storytelling, unending fight, deep understanding, commitment, and their continuous care of country, land, waterways, sky, culture, and communities. We stand with them in their ongoing cause for truth-telling, treaty, sovereignty, justice, land rights, reconciliation, and reconciliation. This was, and always will be, Aboriginal land. Imagine this, you're wandering through Carlton Gardens, or just happen to be strolling past the State Library, or even ducking down some hidden laneway in the city, and there it is, a fountain, so truly ornate, or so truly, utterly Victorian, so ridiculously over-engineered, and they just happen to stop and go, why on earth did 19th century Melbourne build this just for people to take a sip? Today we're diving into the world of temperance, architecture, charity, engineering, public health, and of course wild civic pride turned simple drinking fountains into full-blown design competitions. Before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe right here on YouTube. Follow us over on Podbean, and make sure that you're all across all our socials for even more stories of Naarm-Melbourne and South Central Victoria. Here's a quick heads up before we go ahead. This episode touches on briefly on topics of public health crisis, 19th century hygiene issues, alcohol dependency, and colonial attitudes towards public morality. If any of this feels too heavy today, please take care of yourself and listen when you're ready, and listen again if you feel ready to. Yet, as always, in saying all that, if this is not the right time for you, I completely understand, and of course your well-being comes first. So, if you do feel that way inclined, please either skip, pause, or go to one of our later episodes if you can come back when you're ready to, of course. Yet, if you do choose to listen to this episode, always, please remember to watch and listen with care. Thanks. Welcome to Down the Yarra, the podcast that takes you on a deep dive into the heart and soul of Naarm-Melbourne and South Central Victoria. Whether you're a local or just curious, this podcast is for you. As always, I'm your host, and today we're taking a deep dive into the public drinking fountains of Naarm-Melbourne that became the symbols of ambition for a young city determined to show them off. So strap in, or should I say more accurately, hydrate yourself appropriately, because Melbourne's drinking fountains have a story far deeper than you might expect it to be. Now, when gold was discovered and Melbourne exploded into a booming metropolis, the city had three major problems. Alcohol was everywhere, pubs outnumbered churches, temperance movement was rising, clean drinking water was scarce. The Yang supply was still developing. People were getting sick badly from typhoid, etc. Civic pride was sky high. This was a time for marvellous Melbourne, a city that plainly refused to do anything half-assed. Enter the temperance movement and the societies, philanthropic societies, councils, and design committees who wanted to transform public drinking into moral aesthetic, public boosting, health boosting mission. Fountains were not just functional, they were truly became monuments, often dedicated to lost loved ones, charitable causes, community organisation, public health campaigns, and architectural flourishes. From the Gothic spires to neoclassical bowls, ornate ironwork to sculptured lions' heads, Naarm-Melbourne's designers went to town in this aspect. Some of the most iconic examples include the Victorian era cast iron fountains, often featuring lions' heads, shells, or even decorated shields, designed to invoke both purity and strength. Then you had the temperance fountains, which was founded by groups pushing for alternatives against pub culture. A sip of water, clean water was meant to be a small rebellion against booze-heavy norms of the time. Memorial drinking fountains. Think of Jane Clark memorials or fountains donated by wealthy families as gestures of civic duty. Then you had the council-funded structural fountains. These doubled as public art at a time when public art galleries were still a rare luxury. The fountains became a symbol of clean drinking, clean living, public good, urban beauty, and civic sophistication. Only in Melbourne could you drink water turned into a statement. Peace. Walk around today and you'll definitely spot restored heritage fountains in parks, ornate designs outside cultural institutions, repurposed memorial fountains, modern stainless steel stations blending into the heritage surroundings. Some still work, some have plaques that tell stories, some still sit quietly unnoticed, surviving relics of an era that believed beauty belonged everywhere, even at a water spout. And then there are the stories that truly are darker than the romantic Victorian designs, including a few tied to outbreaks, vandalism, neglect, and the occasional misguided 1970s redesign. Naarm-Melbourne is now modernising drinking fountains with touch-free sensors, bottle filling stations, filtered water, accessibility redesigns, urban art collaborations. Expect more major parks and transport hubs to incorporate these features, blending both our heritage aesthetic and contemporary sustainability. But heritage groups continue to advocate restoring old fountains, preserving the original ironwork, reinstalling lost plaques, maintaining fountains as public storytelling artifacts. Conversation is no longer just about health or design. It's about how the city honours the past and while we're building the future. If you want a brilliant visual walkthrough of Melbourne's drinking fountains history, well, please go and head and go and search Philip Mouse's YouTube channel. His video breaks down the key heritage designs, their city locations, story behind the ornate details, and how modernisation is happening today. A perfect companion to this episode. Please do check this out. Please do check it out after you finish it. And so next Tuesday, we actually finish season 2 with giant, iconic, yet truly special episode. We're heading to the Yarra Valley to the historic Gulf Station, Victoria's oldest working farm, founded by the Bell family who emigrated in the 1840s from Scotland, and now lovingly preserved and owned by the National Trust. We'll explore life on a colonial farm, its remarkable heritage buildings that have stood the test of time, deep connection to Wurundjeri country, how it survived into the present day, and its future as a living museum in rural Victoria. It's a big one, so make sure that you don't miss it. Well, as always, thanks for listening to Down the Yarra. And as always, I'm your host, Andy. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe right here on YouTube. And of course, please follow us over on Podbean. And naturally, get across all of our socials for even more stories of Naarm-Melbourne and South Central Victoria. We'll see you next time for our Season 2 finale at Gulf Station. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep your eyes open for the stories that are always hiding in plain sight. Till then, see you soon.